I have a secret. And for the past 5 years, I've been gatekeeping it because it makes me feel special. It makes me feel unique, like I'm one of the very few people that knows about this. But I'm finally going to say it. It takes a lot of courage, but I think it's time I let you guys know that the seated incline dumbbell curl is the only exercise you'll ever need to grow your biceps. There, I've said it. Anyways, this anime is pretty cool. Caesar 7 is my trump card if there was a battle of the best animes no one's ever seen, besides that one other Chinese anime. Before it becomes overrated, I'll let you know that I'm a fan of Caesar 7. The point is, all the good underwatch animes are from China. You've seen what they could do. The animation, the distinct art style and character design. It's refreshing to see an anime that doesn't look like this, or this. If there's one thing the Chinese are good at, it's making great animes. And killing millions of people while drinking soup.
What? I'm Chinese. I can make that joke. Chick chong leg long.
Caesar 7 at its core is a comedy, and comedy is subjective. It's a rather risky genre to get into when writing a story, because unlike action, which is all boom and wow, comedy is subjective to each person's interpretation of humor. For example, if you're not rolling on the floor laughing your brains out, somebody is. So when you're watching a comedy or a skit, you're experiencing the comedian's level of humor. He Xiaofeng is the creator of Caesar 7. You're either gonna find him really funny or drop the show 2 episodes in. Once upon a time, in the land of child labor, there exists a killer named Seven. He was ruthless, merciless, a bounty hunter that gets the job done in a swift. He's the greatest killer in the world, racking up millions as the bounties turn into dust. That's what cocaine does to people. Blue Chicken. Seven actually runs a beef offal stall using his telekinetic Caesar skills. This is what an earnest living looks like. None of these fake-ass fantasies that other animes try to sell you. This is reality. Fuck that reality. Let's chase that dream and become the world's greatest killer. But openly being a killer is suspicious. So we need an undercover job. A barber. We'll set the barbershop as the place to take on missions. This is going nowhere, so I'm just gonna speed things up. The anime has 5 seasons. Season 1, you're not gonna like Season 1, especially when you're used to seeing wow, ooh. Fuck. It's like the first day at a new school. Everything feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable. The world, the art, Xiaofei. You're gonna love Xiaofei. The first few episodes just feels like a normal comedic show. But Danjo wouldn't recommend animes that are mid now, would he? The first day of school is weird, but then you start adapting. You start getting used to their antiques. Now it feels normal. A love story between a gangster dog and a mafia cat. A drowning fish being caught by pirates. A drowning fish. Nobody bats an eye. This one's my favorite. The Indestructible Virgin. Funny, but it stops a whole nuke. Do not shit on the Indestructible Virgin. This was the turning point in Caesar 7. The tone gets serious. The animation gets buffed. Every character from before starts appearing as a part of the story again. Oh, so that's what it was. The first few episodes weren't just written for pure comedy. It sets the stage for the rest of the story to unfold. This guy knows what he's doing. Your perception of the show suddenly changed. The story's well thought out all of a sudden. The characters were well written all along. Turns out Seven was once a part of the 7 Shadow Killers. His name Seven as the 7th Shadow Killer gives him the 777. He has amnesia. He doesn't remember his past as being one of the greatest assassins. There's a motive to the story now, the goal of finding out who Seven really is. Together with Daibo, he's a groomer. There's a whole lore behind his past. And Xiaofei, you're gonna love Xiaofei. Just like how I love 13. something so familiar whenever she pops up on the screen. She's cold but conflicted, forced to live a rigid lifestyle because her father is sexist as fuck. I love the interactions between 7 and 13. It's so fun to watch. You get to see 13 revealing her true side. She has arguably the best writing among all the characters in the show, and almost everyone is well written. You thought this guy is just a homeless man who can't afford to pay for a haircut? He could be a gang leader. Things are so random in this anime, you just can't expect what's gonna happen next. There's always a new story around the corner, a random character who turns out to be vital to the plot. You don't know shit about their past, and that's what makes it so interesting. Heck, not even the main character knows much about himself. 7 is a funny and carefree guy who cuts hair while being a killer that fails all of his missions. That's all you really know about the dude. He's like a puzzle that you piece together the longer you watch the anime. He dwells between his past and his priorities. The contrast of his old self makes him question his current identity. But it's this small island filled with these weird people that he calls friends. That's what really matters. He would do anything to go back to that vintage barbershop at the corner and sell beef offals at the side. Now you're looking back at season 1 and thinking, they really did set the stage well. He Xiaofeng is the creator, director, storyboard, scripting, character design, even the voice actor for 7. It's not just child labor at this point. The anime started off understaffed, so someone's gotta take charge of multiple roles. As a director, he allows his team to animate freely, so you get these scenes that are uniquely funny, yet filled with passion. The animation gets serious when it needs to. Not a single fight was done half-heartedly. I reckon if Caesar 7 was made by the Japanese, it could be one of the best animes of the generation. But that's the reality of being a Chinese anime. There's really not much of a fanbase to work with. The industry is not as established as it is in Japan. Anything that MAPPA or Ufotable produces will surely get more people to watch than ShareFun Studio. The anime has 5 seasons. You watch season 1, then the specials, then season 2, season 3, and so on. Each episode is only 15 minutes. You're blowing by 2 seasons in a day. I watched seasons 1 through 4 on Netflix. Yes, legally.
I am better!
Season 5 is currently airing, but Netflix, where is it? Not even the pirate sites have it. There is no way I'll be able to watch the full episodes free on YouTube. How the fuck? People are not liking the new season. I'm claiming that based purely on this one review. There's no plot progression. The animation took a dip, blah blah blah. If there's one thing you should know, it's that you should always bet on her shall fall. Season 5 is as good as the other seasons. Sure, it isn't as high paced as before, but I like where it's at right now. Remember what I said at the start? No, not that. Caesar 7 at its core is a comedy. So let it be a comedy. Just because the main character isn't fighting the bad guys every episode doesn't mean the plot is going nowhere. Bad animation? Really? The last few episodes of season 4 were pretty heavy, so I think it's rational they tone it down back to their roots. This is also a struggle of being an original anime. There's no references for the production to be based on. Everything from the story to the script to the animation all has to be done step by step, hand in hand. So as viewers, we can only trust in the anime. We can only trust in He Xiaofeng. There's a few ways to watch the anime, but if you want the true experience, the Chinese dub is the only way. But I doubt you'll understand anything if your eyes aren't squinted when you're not even smiling. The Chinese version uses Mandarin and Cantonese as their main languages. It switches to Cantonese to convey a different tone according to the story. This is something that you won't experience watching the other dub versions. It's something new and unique that I've never thought dubbing in other languages could do. With that being said, I watched it in Japanese. If there's one thing I hate, it's watching things not getting the recognition it deserves. And I'm not talking about my channel. It's baffling that I've watched Caesar 7 almost 3 years ago, and still not many even know this anime exists. In terms of the best animes to ever come out in recent years, I would proudly put Caesar 7 in my top 10, so you should give it a chance. Have a laugh, and maybe you might just end up with one of the funniest, character-driven, and action-packed story that you'll ever see in your whole life. The anime's name is Caesar 7. 13 is great, but so is 11.